King Cobra.
Hello, everybody. It's your boy Wesley Newell, and I want to welcome you to another episode of the Urban Retrospect. I got my fellas here, and we're gonna get into it. Today, this episode, we're gonna do a retrospective discussion with Stacey Diltz Thomas. So let me introduce you to her. Stacey is a beverage importer and beverage broker. Can you get more into that, Stacey? And thank you and welcome to the show.
Absolutely, guys. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here amongst all my fellow brethren. We kind of most of us went to college together, and we understand the whole collegiate experience. And I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me. So I am a broker and an importer. What that basically means is my first profession is brokering beverages, which means that I usually am the liaison between a beverage owner and distribution in the market. So I'm the one, usually people come to me and say, hey, I have a beverage, I have a wine, a spirit or whatever, and I'm looking to get into Tennessee, Georgia, Alabama, Kentucky, Alabama, kind of the southern region is where I take care of right now. And they want to get into that region. They come to me. I kind of evaluate the product. I find the need, and I kind of have meetings with my distributors and find out if they are looking for something like that. And then I kind of put them together, and we all work together to get distribution for the product. And then I recently became an importer, imported my first brand, Leyenda Mezcal, which I also am part owner of. And importing is totally different, where you import it from a different country. So it's a totally different whole gamut of red tape and just all kind of headaches. But at the end of the day, it's important and it's fun. But it's very highly regulated, and importing is where I get in and I actually get to the product before, way before it even gets to the market. And I work with the producer, and I do all the regulations, the paperwork, the what have you, to get it imported into the US. And then I take on the task that I usually do every day, which is getting that brand distribution.
What kind of experience or background do you need to get into being a broker or importer?
So that's funny. People always ask me that, and they say, how did you get into this business? I said, I don't, it kind of found me. I have no idea. The kind of experience I think you have to have is a sales background. I graduated from TSU in mass communications and marketing. And so I worked for Fox Television and Jezebel magazine. I was mostly on that side. And I happened to meet and actually my old editor was like, hey, there's this Italian wine company that needs somebody in marketing, and I think you'd be great. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to see, I'll try for a few months. I'm, on hiatus from my TV show. And because at the time I had a TV show in Atlanta, and I was like, we'll see. And I ended up just falling in love with it. And so I did not have a special skill set, I don't think. I think I'm just a people person. And I end up having a sales background too. So I think the sales background got me there. This is kind of a hidden industry where people don't really know the ins and outs of it. It's kind of it's a secret. So people don't know. You just see the product on the shelf, right? You just see it in the stores, you see it in the liquor store. You have no idea how it gets there, but there's a whole lot of stuff before it gets on the shelf. And so I was just trained in sales. I started on the marketing side, marketing wines from Italy. And the Italian winery was actually based in Portuguaro, Italy, and the U.S. base was in Atlanta, and I lived in Atlanta at the time, and I just fell into it, and I was trained on how to sell wine. That's kind of how I got into it. My Italian owners of the wine, they taught me how to sell wine. I already knew how to market. I already knew all about marketing, but they taught me how to sell it. And that's how I got into this industry, is learning how to sell a product, learning how to list all the attributes, talk about it. You know, it's really also relationships building process and relationships business. So I had to like get to know a lot of distributors and fellow brokers and stuff, and kind of, you know, make the magic happen. So I think it's more so, I always like to say it's a little bit of skill, it's a lot of personality, and a lot of like, you know, a lot of sales and building and relationship building.
A question I had, and I came up with when we were discussing all of this, is that I imagine, like most things, this is a male-dominated industry.
Yes.
So, you know, what are the challenges, if any, in you breaking through that barrier and being that woman, that Black woman in this male-dominated industry?
I mean, woo, let's not even get into Black woman. We're gonna start with woman first. Let's start with
that was too much. We got to pare it down a little bit.
Right.
Yeah, that was a lot. So this is a very much so male-dominated industry. I mean, you guys, you know, I always say y'all have the life. Like, men get to do whatever they want to do and kind of just show up, you know, looking whatever kind of way and being whatever kind of way, and y'all get to make the magic happen. Whereas women, we don't. And so in my industry, very few women are in this business. Most of the women that are in this business are either they're either sales women, and they work on premise, which means restaurants and hotels, and they kind of sell in that kind of, you know, white tablecloth kind of 4-star, 5-star restaurants, or, you know, fine dining, casual dining, whatever. They're mostly on that end, or they're in the office doing all the admin stuff. You know what I mean? Like, you know, administrative work, and they're in the office. They don't get to get out in the streets. And so, and so to me, that's where all the action is. I was like, I want to be out there with the guys. I want to be out there in the stores. I want to be out there in the market, like selling, because that's where the fun is. That's where all the, you know, you get all your juices flowing. That's where all the action happens, and you get so excited. And so, so that on the women front, just being a female in this business is quite rare, and it's also a challenge because it's mostly men, and men kind of walk and talk with a certain type of maybe assertiveness, that kind of like, you're supposed to do this anyway, or you're supposed to buy it. Like I always say, men walk in, they may have like an energy drink and be like, this is the best energy drink in the world. Like, you're gonna stay up 25 hours, and you know, you're gonna be crunk, and you're gonna, you know, get it done, whatever. And this is amazing, right? And so a woman can walk in and say that same thing, and then people looking at her like, okay, really? But with men, they're like, oh yeah, you know, I'm gonna be able to work out for 12 hours and then still work and do that. Oh yeah, I'm buying that energy drink. But when a female says it, it's like, we get the side eye. So it's challenging, because it's kind of like they question what we do. Men get no questions. Women, we get all the questions. So I just think it's very hard.
I imagine, though, once they know that you're good and you got it, then you probably have them eating out the palm of your hands too. And it's okay for you to be humble, or okay to go ahead and say, yeah, man, it's stupid. Because we're all men and we understand it. A pretty smile, we start listening, and man, we'll buy all types of dumb stuff just because you say so. And you see everybody nodding their heads like, yep, that's what we do. So, I mean, I'm sure you run into that too.
Yeah, I mean,
a female sommelier can tell you better than a male sommelier. And it's not even about the whole deal, but it's just, it sounds good. You know?
Like, ooh, that sounds like it's gonna be good.
That's when a dude get in your face, try to sell you something, like, man, shut up, get out the way. I want to talk to you. What are you trying to sell me?
That's true. I think once they get to, I think that once the audience gets comfortable with the woman, that's true. I think women make things sound better. I think, you know, I agree with that. I just think we get more questions. I think with men, y'all like, okay, sure. But with women, it's like, okay, well, how about this? And how about that? Well, what about this? I think we get more questions. But I will say, in my experience, once I introduce the product and I talk to the buyers and I get to, like, they usually do buy. I'm successful on the buying side. Once they get to know me, they know that I know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? So that works out in the end, definitely when I know what I'm talking about. And it also helps me on the flip side is that being rare is that I do get a lot more, I would say a little bit more focus because I'm different. I am Black and I am female, and you don't see a lot of me, people that look like me out here doing this. So I do get a little bit more attention, like, okay, here she is. What is she doing? What is she doing? How did she get here? Because it's like, dang, it had to be hard for her to get there. It was. But yeah, I do get a little bit more, I stand out more. How about that? I stand out more for sure. And everyone in every like sales meeting, every wine or spirits conference, like people always remember me. And they're like, yes, that's Stacey. I'm like, yes, because I'm the only Black woman here. That's why you remember my name. That's how you know who I am, because there's nobody else here that's Black. So yeah, for sure.
Can you tell us a little bit about the or the brands that you represent?
Yes. So I have a mix of wine and spirits and non-alc actually that I represent with Bevmatic Brands. That's the name of the importing and brokerage company. So I have wines from California. I have wines from Paris, yes, and France. So California, France, Italy, Japan. I have a fascination with sake, and I broker a lot of sake out of Japan, and I'm sake certified, which means that I can teach about sake. I know a lot about sake, so that's one of my favorite things actually, because I have sinus issues, and sake is made from rice, and so whereas other wine is made from grapes, that's high in sulfites and everything, and so with sake, I don't have sinus issues. So when I drink, I can drink and not have to sneeze or my nose isn't running and all that. But with wines and spirits, it is. So sake, for people who have sinus issues, like sake is the best thing ever. But anyway, I have sake, have some non-alc things like kind of like, I guess, chasers, a lot of, like I have a, what's the name of that? Sometimes I forget because I have so much stuff, but I have like things that mixers, usually mixers, like a variety of mixers that go with different drinks that are non-alc based. I have those too. And so I have E40, like E40 Earl Stevens. I manage his brands for Tennessee, Kentucky right now, and he's fun to work with. Love him because there's a lot of celebrities in the industry that have brands, but there's nobody like him because he actually owns 100% of his brands, and he gets out there and he works the market. Like, he loves being out there working, and he loves to market his brands. He's a hard worker, and you cannot match his work ethic. And for him to be a celebrity, he's been in the game, been in the music industry for 30 plus years, and to be out there working his wine and spirits portfolio is commendable. So I do enjoy working with him. So I do work with a variety of brands, and I just love it. I love my industry.
I have a quick follow-up. Do you have any soju?
I do have soju.
Oh, we're going to talk offline. I've been waiting for some soju since I left Korea. All right, we cool.
Now, I will be honest. I've been saying sake.
Yeah.
For 45 years.
Most people do.
So I was today years old when I heard that it's pronounced this way.
Yeah.
How you say it again?
Suki.
It's so you're not alone.
He's some of that suki.
It's suki now.
Suki, yes.
How you pronounce it?
Stackhouse?
It's actually sake.
Sake. That's what. Sake. That's what you're saying.
Sake. Like everybody. I mean, even me, when I first got in the industry, I was like sake. And my supplier actually was like, "Do not say that ever again. It's sake." And I was like, "Oh, what?" Because nobody even corrected me in the United States. The Japanese corrected me. They were like, "Look, it is sake. It is not sake. We're tired of you people saying that it's sake. It's sake." And I was like, "I'm so sorry." And I never said it wrong again.
Gotta let them know.
Yeah.
They felt like when you have a
Right.
white teacher and you got those folks who got that Black name that they can never pronounce.
Right.
How they felt.
Right. Exactly. I was like, I stand corrected. My bad. Nobody has ever corrected me in like 5 years.
That's interesting. You brought the thing about the sulfites. You know what I mean? I thought the industry was trying to get away from some of that, on the wines, because it uses preservative, but Like I stopped drinking Kendall Jackson because it tastes just like sulfites now. You know
Oh
what I
my
mean?
God.
It's just bad. You know what I mean? But
Yes, it is. You're right.
but
Sulfites, are kind of naturally recurring. And the tannins too, the tannins and the sulfites together are just too much. I enjoy wine a lot. And so, but I have to drink like a glass and that's it because the tannins are like, that under the skin of the grape underneath it.
yeah,
That's where the tannins come from and the sulfites, those two collectively, they just give you bad, like either headaches or
headaches, can't sleep. And it's
right.
like they put more and more in it so they can pump out the wine at a higher production rate. Yeah,
Yes.
bad. Go natural.
Yeah.
But before I forget my question, what are the true benefits of having a beverage broker? And what could I benefit from having one if I had a product?
So if you had a beverage and say you had like a vodka or something, you do have the option of going.
No vodka.
What?
A whiskey.
Okay, a
I had my own
whiskey. Oh yeah,
whiskey.
you're right. Okay, yeah, you're right. Whiskey, because whiskey is real hot right now. Absolutely.
Okay.
But and whiskey is a winner for sure. So if you had a whiskey, you could definitely, give it the old college try and go out, with it by yourself, or you could have somebody experienced who already has the relationships and the connections to get you a distributor faster and also get you an experienced distributor who knows how to take care of you, who will take time for you in the market, who will analyze your brand properly and be able to get you in the right channels. That's the difference. Because when you go at it alone and say, you're like, I got the best whiskey in the world. Like it's hot, it tastes good. I got a great label. I got great packaging. My product is hot. I got this. I got connections. I got my whole TSU or my HBCU or my whole whatever connection. I got this. That's true. So you'll have the customer side possibly, but you don't have any of the inner workings of the industry. And brokers break that down for you and make it very easy for you. We are the ones that go in and we say, okay, I like your whiskey. I say, I'm going to analyze it before I even take it to distribute. I'm going to get it right for you. So I'm going to say, yeah, you want your whiskey to be like $29.99? Not going to work. This needs to be $49.99. Why? Because you got to build pricing and costs and margins into your brand. It's not you're not going to make any money if it's only $29.99. Okay, well, I think I should call it this. No, that's not going to work. Well, I think I want to start out in Kentucky. Nope, don't want to start in Kentucky. You want to start in your home state. Where do you live? I live in Tennessee. Start there. So brokers are able to break it down to you and tell you how to go to the market and how to find the distributor, because you don't want to waste your time pitching out there to all these distributors and they're all telling you no, but guess what? They don't tell you why. They just tell you no. They're like, nope, we don't like it. And they never take the time to tell you why. Brokers are going to analyze it beforehand and say, before I even take it to this distributor, let me tell you what quirks and what things you need to fix and how we need to go about it. Then I'm sure I can find you a distributor and then I can set you up for success.
Why did you choose the name La Leyenda? Where did that come from?
So I did not actually choose the name. My partner Alejandro chose a name. And just to give you a brief backstory. So La Leyenda is from Zacatecas, Mexico. And I was actually introduced to the producer from my husband's line brother. And, we're graduates of TSU and, TSU is just very tight. And once someone knows that you're in a certain business, we always make all kinds of connections. Well, my husband's line brother played in NFL. His name is Randy Fuller. And he had a lot of connections. He was doing, I think, Mexico NFL, ESPN, some sort of sports show that's international. And through one of his other, I think, anchors or something, he met a guy. He met Alejandro, my partner. Anyway, they had been trying to get this mezcal into the United States for a long time. Alejandro actually owns a restaurant in Mexico City or Mexico. And he had been serving this particular mezcal in his restaurant. And he actually named it La Leyenda for personal reasons. Actually, it means the legend. And his mother actually was a legend, and kind of everybody in their family and their circles and their community called her the legend. But it was more so about ordinary, everyday legends, people that make it happen for you in your own family. We have everyday walking legends. So whether it's your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother, it was about kind of everyday people, ordinary people that become extraordinary because they just make things happen for your family or for your community or for whatever. So he actually came up with the name. When we partnered up, I actually did everything else from kind of aesthetics, like, how the packaging would look, what kind of bottle, what kind of top, what needs to have on it, the labeling. I was involved in that part. And that's how I became part owner and also 100% importer, is we just decided to come together and do it together. But he came up with the name, actually.
Okay. The caveat off that question is, I went to public school, so what's the difference between a mezcal and a tequila?
Right. So I'm glad you asked that question. It is asked a lot. So actually, like, contrary to thought, there's actually more mezcal out there than tequila. So tequila can only be made in certain areas like Oaxaca, Jalisco, designated areas, and mezcal, our mezcal is made in Zacatecas. So it's more so of a regional thing. All these things are certified. Like mezcal is actually certified. We have to go through the CRM, which is the Certified Regulator of Mezcal, to go through all kind of qualifications in order to be qualified as mezcal. So it's a territory thing, almost like, champagne. Most people think that anything bubbly is champagne, but it can't be called champagne. This is from Champagne, France. Champagne is actually a place. And so same was like Burgundy, France, like all those places have certified terroir. And so that means that it can only be planted and grown on that terroir to be called that. That's the same thing with tequila and mezcal. And most people think that mezcal has to be smoky. It does not. It does have an iconic smoky kind of, history, because a lot of people have made it smoky to kind of differentiate from tequila, but it does not have to be smoky. And mine is not smoky, but it's 100% blue agave tequila. And it is aged 7 years before the agave is even picked to actually be produced. So the difference is the region where it's made. That's the region where the agave is grown. That's the major difference between tequila and mezcal. Okay. It's just where it's grown, where it's produced, and how it's made.
Okay. All right.
Bourbon versus whiskey.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
or
absolutely.
Scotch. Or Scotch.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We got a homeboy in Cozumel named Casper that grew his own agave, and it was fire. The grandmama gave us some, but that's another story.
That wasn't agave.
I'm gonna go a little off script. So what separates your mezcal from others?
Okay. So what separates mine is, like I said before, actually most of it is smoky. Most of the traditional mezcal that you will pick up is smoky, and it has a lot of the finish is real smoky. That can be sometimes hard. Some people love it, but some people really don't like it as too much. But the difference really in mine is that mine is kind of, La Leyenda is literally like farm to bottle. And that's why we call it single malt. And single malt means that it's made one farm, one producer, one hand picked it, one hand cooked it, cut it into take off all the spikes, you cut it into the little piñas, then you stick it into the oven and cook it for 72 hours or so. But ours comes from one producer. That's one thing. It comes from one producer, one farm, one agave farm. They're handpicked. They're aged 7 years. Okay, and mine is also 100% blue agave, and it's one agave plant. Every tequila that you all have probably tasted came from multiple agave. It's like you have one called Espadin. You have all these different varietals of agave, but mine is only one. And so that's why it's called single malt. One producer, one agave, one kind of agave, 100% blue on one farm. One person picked it. One person made all of it. And so that is the difference. High quality. It's called super premium. It's in the super premium category, which is, I love to be in that category because it's not that crowded. You know, you always have the space of like where the most tequilas are, like Patron and all of them that are at a certain price. My Blanco is $69.99. Leyenda is $69.99 just for the Blanco, and that's because of all like the quality that goes into it. A lot of people compare it to like like a little bit more better than Secure, but like Sincoro, but more so. What did I say that the other one? It just left my mind a minute ago. The blue tequila, Clase Azul. Most people compare it to Glace Azul, and Glace Azul is also made from 100% blue agave. But that blue agave is significant because it's a very clean but earthy finish, like banana ripeness. I know you all have all tasted it, and you have to let me know what you think. But it's just extremely exquisite. And I love the fact, you know, when I was introduced to Alejandro and he told me the story, I love the fact this is one person doing this. So the quality there, and you're knowing everywhere that it came from. And we even have a sticker on our bottle. You just stick your phone to it with a cue card, and it shows you everything about, you know, our nom, where we made, everything. And that's high quality. And so you literally know, yep, there it is right there.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I missed that.
So it's, you know, this has been made with very special care. And so that's what makes our mezcal different. It is non-smoky. It is actually made the industrial way. It is 2 times the steel. That's all that it needs because it's such high quality. The agave juices, once they are, you know, fermented and everything, the agave juices, they like rest for 12 hours. It's a lot of time that's put into this, and you can taste it. You can taste that it's been made with love.
How would you prefer, like, I guess my question is, like, how you prefer like to drink it? Would you prefer like with a mixer, or should we just sip it like plain? Or
So I always say, you know, go with what you know and go with what you're comfortable with. For me, it depends on my mood. You know, I'm a Gemini, so sometimes I'm like, I want it just. Sometimes I want it just chilled, and I want to just sip on it, and I'm cool. But sometimes I want a little bit more flavor. So I'm like, you know what, this is good, just like it is, just sipping it by itself. But you know, I want a really good like premium margarita. So I'll get a little bit of lime, a little bit of orange, and like, you know, sometimes I haven't done it in a while, but I'll make like fresh, you know, like lime and lemon, squeeze it together, and just put that over the mezcal. Sometimes I'll get a mix. I'll get some juices. I'll get, like, I had some mango yesterday, and I had it with mango juice, you know, guava, papaya, anything like that. Like any type of juice that you like, you can have just a little bit. Like I wouldn't even do like a full, like maybe an ounce, maybe 2 ounces, but just pour a little bit in there just to, you know, make it flavorful for you, whatever your favorite flavor is, but make it minimal because it tastes so good. You don't want to take away from that agave earthiness.
As far as the beverage itself, the beverage is excellent tasting. It's very well balanced. The blue agave is really good. I'm looking forward to trying an añejo if you all do have one on the market already.
yeah,
You know, so I'm
We're coming with añejo.
Okay, let's get that going. Let's get that.
Yeah,
I
we can. You can come back. You
yeah.
can come back with that.
Yeah. Do the thing. You know what I mean?
Yes, we can do that. We have reposado and añejo coming, but I think I'm gonna release the añejo first and then come back. Yeah, because everybody has reposado, but our añejo is also very special, and añejo is going up in cost, y'all. It's going up in price. It's getting harder and harder to keep it and produce it, and with all the regulations now. So I'm going to release that first. So it's coming.
Yeah.
Right.
When I bought it, my packaging store is similar but different. Mine was in the car, but I'm under a covered shed, and I think my glue melted. So, you know, it kind of got my
Oh, I'm glad you told me that, because what I'll do is I'll tell Alejandro, we may need to tighten those tops. I'm glad you told me. That's our first batch imported. And y'all would not even think about what importing goes through too. When you're going through customs, and sometimes it sits out there in like these gates outside in Mexico, in Laredo, like forever, and they like knock them around. It's kind of like, you know, when you take your suitcase in the airport and you check your luggage, and they just do all kinds of stuff with it. I mean, you know, your luggage never comes back the same. A lot of that stuff happens with importing as well.
I've lived on the border before and come through some of them Mexican U.S. Ports of entry.
Yeah.
That's an interesting place to be.
Why did they let you stay?
Hey, man, I had to get up out of there. I was going over there too much, man. The food was good.
Yeah. But the quality of the product outweighs any of that. So to everybody listening, watching, you know what I mean? This is must try. Five delish. You know what I mean?
Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you like it.
Absolutely. I have another question for you. Other than Leyenda, what's your other drink of preference?
So my other drink of preference is probably, I mean, now I've always loved wine. I would say wine and sake. So it's about spirits or anything.
Anything.
Wine.
Now, red, Cabernet, Chardonnay.
I like rich, very rich red wines. Okay, very rich red wine. So most of that is Cabernet. I love a good, rich California Cabernet, and sometimes Pinot Noir, but mostly cabs. I like cabs that are like from, you know, Napa, Sonoma, places like that, that really take care and put a lot of like fruit forwardness into the cab, but it's big and bold, because I like to really enjoy that with meals, and I don't like my food to compete with my wine. So I like it to be big, bold, and I love red wine, like love it.
It sounds like you're bougie about your wines.
Very, yeah. Definitely, I would say that. But that comes from being in the business, because I think I've been afforded the opportunity to try a lot of wines, and so I go to trade shows and stuff that I work at, and then you'll go down the, you know, somebody's like, hey, come over here and try my wine. Try this like 1985 Chateauneuf de Pop, and I'm like, what? Yeah, try this like $1,000 bottle of, you know, whatever. And so I've tasted a lot, and so. Yeah. Oh my God. Those shows.
I would be in heaven. Next time you go, can I tag along?
Yeah. Let me tell y'all, if you love wine and spirits, really and truly, go to a wine and spirits trade show. You will get to taste everything, like $3,000 bottles of champagne, Louis Vuitton, like all the old Louis, like all the Louis, all that old school wine. That's like that are vintage. I mean, you get to taste everything, and your palate develops. You'll never be the same, because you'll be like, I don't even want all that cheap stuff anymore. You want, I mean, like instantly your palate develops. So I love going to those shows, because I always discover something new. And I mean, that's why you'll never taste again. When would I ever be able to taste a bottle and afford a $5,000 bottle? I can't do it, you know, but at those events and those trade shows, you get to taste it.
As a follow-up to that, when you go to those trade shows and you taste those expensive bottles of wine, what do you do, without naming names? What do you do when you taste something that's supposed to be it, but it ain't?
Man, I'm just highly disappointed. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, all y'all talk, you know, the magazines, Wine Enthusiast, and you know, all these magazines like give it these high points, and you know, everybody talks about it and all that. And I'm like, this is what this tastes like. I mean, I'm just disappointed. And a lot of times I kind of just say, this is just way overrated. And I you know, I actually share those stories. I tell people, like, you know, you may think that, you know, Robert Parker rated this 90 points or 95 points, but it ain't 95 points. Like, you know, I let people know. And, you know, I think it's good to have that insight and tell people and share with that, because I think a lot of those wines, sometimes I think people pay for, just like with anything else, I think they pay for ratings. I think things have been around for a long time. And you know, a lot of times what happens with like brands like Blue Clicquot, things like that, like they change ownership. And so what happens is they kind of rest on the laurels of the brand that Moet doesn't even have the same owner. What they do is they rest on the laurels of how it was made in the past, and they buy it. They buy the brand, and then they use cheaper sources. So they use different grapes that are cheaper, whatever. They're making their money back, right? And then they're making a huge profit because it tastes nothing like it did in like 1992. You know what I mean? Nothing, because they changed owners, and then they changed grapes, they changed terroir, and they still called it Moet. Well, guess what? That ain't the same. That's not the same Moet anymore. So, you know, they do that a lot. And so sometimes I think of that. I'm like, either they changed ownership and they went with a cheaper grape, or a different source, or this just was never really, you know, what it was supposed to be. So
let me just put this in here real quick. Thank you for that educational message. For all the lawyers in the audience, the views of Miss Stacey Diaz Thomas does not reflect this program, and those were her personal opinions.
True. Word. That was 100% me.
Appreciate
100. Absolutely. That was me, LVMH. I know y'all ain't the same. It's okay.
Yeah,
I know.
I was gonna say that was public information.
But before I go to my question, just want to remind the audience that, you know, purpose of this show is to highlight Black-owned products and services. So over my shoulder, just want to ask everyone to don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and then go to the urbanretrospect.com. The main reason why I brought that up, because my question is, are there any other Black-owned spirits that we should be aware of?
Absolutely.
In the future.
Yes, absolutely. So first I want to say, going back to that last thing, absolutely. Look, I don't want to get in trouble. LVMH is good with me. I'm just saying, we all know in the industry that ownership has changed. So I still love and respect y'all, but yeah, we know it. But yes, I don't want to be blackballed in my industry, so we know that.
Yeah, that'd be
But
We'll
anyway,
edit that out.
we respect. We know what happens with ownership change, and we still respect it and love you. But going back to that other question, so yes, there's a lot of African Americans now in the industry, which I do. I'm very proud of all of us. I think you all know. I'm going to speak from my TSU family first.
Right.
I'm sure you all know Guidance Whiskey, Jason. He's from TSU. He's also from my hometown. He told me he wanted to be in the industry a long time ago, and we got started together. So I helped source and broker his brand. So Guidance Whiskey, absolutely. Twisted Sisters Wine, which is also a TSU alum-owned brand.
OG!
Ogechi and Christy, absolutely. Also, there is Timeless Vodka out of Texas. Amber Steele is the owner. She, because some of us are Greek here. She's an AKA. Also, Ogechi's an AKA. I'm a Delta. Jason is a Omega.
Mighty Rosai. He's Mighty Rosai to be specific.
Mighty Rosai, absolutely. Gotta put that in there. Yeah.
Gotta put that out there.
So yeah, Amber with Timeless Vodka. There's an Orleans out of New Orleans. They have their own winery. That's going to probably be a new client of our team's. And it is a New Orleans-based winery. Her name is Kim. Please support Orleans. Man, I know a lot, y'all. There's a lot of Black-owned spirits and wines coming out here, but those are the ones that I work with. Definitely Earl Stevens, E40, all his stuff. He has wine, spirits, he has a Kentucky bourbon. That's a different level because he's a celebrity, but he is African American, and he actually owns 100% of all of his brands.
Oh,
so
nice.
that's rare, because a lot of them you'll see their face on the wine, but they're not the owner. So we need to make sure that's clear. But yeah, there's a lot. So those are the 6 I think that I would definitely want you to pay most attention to. And there's some more coming and developing. But
Okay.
yes.
Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. And they should come on your show too. I'm going to actually invite them. Can I invite them?
Come
That'd be
on.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Yes, most
Yeah.
definitely.
All right. Appreciate answering those questions, Stacey, for us. So now we're about to get to the tasting part of it. So does everyone have their glass? Pour it
Yes, I
up.
do.
So we're all about to taste, and we're going to give you our reactions to it. All right, fellas. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Now tell us what we're tasting again.
Definitely the banana.
Yes, very
Banana.
good.
We're
Very
tasting
good. Banana and pineapple, a little bit of lemon. You also have a little bit of kind of just earthiness and apple. So most of the times I always say it's a little bit of apple, banana, and pineapple. And definitely like a little bit of an earthy finish and a little bit of dry lemon. So it's a little bit of dry lemon. But that was good. I'm very good. I'm very glad that you said banana. It definitely has a banana finish, right?
Mm-hmm.
It does.
Definitely has a banana finish. What do y'all think about that banana finish in a mezcal or tequila?
It was unexpected for me.
Yeah. I didn't taste the banana, but it was a nice, smooth burn.
Did you say smooth burn?
Smooth burn.
So
He had one of those before.
Oh no, I have it. I just have ice and fresh squeezed lime. That's
Where'd your lime come from, dude?
Giant Eagle on Cedar at Legacy Village.
Okay.
Or that's where it came from. I can't tell you anything more than that. At all. But you know what? It's weird because so generally speaking, the tequilas that I sip and that I drink are añejos. And I'm like Little John. I do shots of blancos, but this is the first time that I've actually sat down to taste a blanco, and I actually do taste the smoky, a little bit of I know you said it's not as smoky as normal, but I'm getting a few hints of that in here.
I'm so glad you said that because you are right. I always say it has a smoky feel, not a smoky taste or finish, because mezcals have the smoke through and through. Like the moment you taste it at the front end and the finish, you taste the smoke. With Leyenda, you do not. You have it kind of like fills your mouth a little bit, but then it finishes off with that banana. So that's why I love it because it's so unique. It's so different. But that dry lemon, that earthiness, that apple, that pineapple and banana, that is what's making it. So you get all those flavors from top to bottom. In the middle there, you get just like a little bit of smoke right there, and then it finishes with that banana. But it's just a feel. It's not a taste. It's like it like fills your mouth.
What do you think of it, Scott?
I like it. I made a margarita, and just so you know, I'm from Kentucky, so I'm more of a bourbon. But I will drink my tequila when in Rome. But I made a margarita with some margarita mix. I have some lime juice, triple set, and it's good. It's good.
Yeah.
But as I've said before, it's not how it tastes. It's about how I feel the next morning.
That's
you know, I'm not getting there. I
right
can't wake up without a headache. No, this is good. Good tasting now. Can't say tequila, mezcal.
Yeah.
So
This is the first mezcal that I ever had. Ever.
Best mezcal I've ever had as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
First time. That I know of. I may have had it before.
I love
Has
it. I
everybody,
love it.
has everybody had a chance
So-
to share that wanted to share?
I made a margarita as well over here on the side, and I would say that those fruit flavors in margarita really, just compliment. So
I think it does too.
it's really good.
I
Yeah.
need to make me a margarita.
I think
It
you
is
do,
really
too.
good with margaritas. We pride ourselves off of it being a sipping mezcal. You be able just to sip it by itself. But I will say that makes excellent margaritas. I mean, it's clean. It has it hits all the points you want. It has a little bit of a lift with the fruity lift, at the finish. And it doesn't overpower the flavor of the margarita, the lime, the lemon, all those flavors. It just kind of lifts it. It's like a lift.
Now you say that you I guess in home sometimes you'll mix it with. Did you say with about an ounce of I almost said mango? Well, that's the right way you say it. Mango juice. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I've got.
Did he just say mango juice?
Because
Yeah.
it's a Spanish
He gonna
word,
change
my
his
brother.
name to Alejandro next.
Actually, my Spanish name Santiago Nube because cloud in Spanish is Nube. Don't mess with me. Santiago.
Look. He's proud.
This is what happens when you get a.
Espanol.
This is what happens when a black man stays on the border for too long. he becomes one of them.
Yeah. Shout out to my primos down there, man.
See, you got the slang with them. You can't use primos when they get down there. All right. So this part of the show, we're gonna get into a game. Now, if y'all know from our past episodes, we play a game called This or That. But we're gonna do a little twist. Since we have Leyenda, we're gonna have a sip. So this is the rule. We're gonna sip. So these are the rules, Stacey. So I'm gonna ask you some questions. Now, if you answer it, you don't have to take a sip of the drink. But if you say you answer either no answer, same, or neither, you have to sip. Okay? Okay. Now,
Got it.
and also too, you have to answer it in 5 seconds.
Those are terrible instructions.
We
That
have
was
a hater.
abysmal.
I'm a sip on that one.
Okay, you'll sip
Just
on
keep
that one.
sipping.
And that'll be edited out too. You just keep
All right.
sipping. All right.
TSU style.
All right. Cool. We're gonna start off with easy. We're gonna start off with easy one.
Okay.
Since you're from Alabama
Mhm.
and I'm from Alabama, we already know. Roll Tide or War Eagle?
Roll Tide, baby.
Yeah. All right. Next question. Would you tell your friend that her husband or significant other always stinks when he comes around?
Real life situation.
Said,
Real
been there
life
before.
situation.
Been there before.
You just gonna sit there and take it. You be like,
Your nostrils just
no.
eating the smell.
He wanna talk to you.
Do it.
He want to talk to you because he thinking about having another liquor come out in your region. So he
You know
pull you
what?
aside.
No.
Put his arm up here.
Let me talk to you about
Man,
something.
let me-
I don't think I can do it. Unless if I had to be around him all the time, I'd just be like, I just think I smell something weird. And I'd have to be like that. I just couldn't. It's too embarrassing. I know it'd be embarrassing for my friends.
And
So
he
I
got
couldn't
a
do it.
list. And he got a list. So,
He said, and a list.
I
so
couldn't
we're
do
gonna
it.
repeat some things like, I think we should go to Mississippi. You're like, yeah, Mississippi.
can do it. I can do it.
Here comes
Because
the
then
next
nothing
one.
would come out right. It wouldn't come out right.
All right. Here comes the next one. Iyanla Van Zant or Kevin Samuels.
Iyanla, for sure.
Cosby Show or Blackish.
Cosby, all
Here we
day.
go. All day.
All day.
All day.
Are you
That's
kidding me?
right.
Blackish ain't got nothing on
That's
Cosby.
right.
Baby.
House
The
I
original.
disagree. I respectfully disagree.
Hater.
There's nothing like that original. Are you kidding? Like all the characters and just the authenticity. And that's one thing about Leyenda. It's about the real thing. That is
All right.
Cosby shows the real thing all day.
Okay.
He don't know no better. He went to that school up north.
All right.
All right, next one. House party or Friday?
Ooh.
Oh, Friday.
All right.
day
All
Friday.
right.
All day
Okay.
Friday. Yes, Friday all day.
Hey,
Okay.
Greg just drinking the drink.
Greg.
Hey, whatever she says, I agree with it. I'm drinking.
All right, next one. Grey Goose or Ciroc?
Ooh, I have to go Ciroc.
All right. This one I think
I was gonna say,
this one
okay, go ahead.
you gotta take a sip of.
Okay.
Guidance or Uncle Nearest?
Oh,
Ooh.
guidance. All
That's
day.
right. You better know.
Whoa. Hey,
TSU.
went too far. I understand it's the TSU bond.
TS. Y'all don't have no loyalty up there. Them ponies up there in Kentucky. Y'all don't have no loyalty.
So
TSU.
no, what we have is what's a better thing? Just like 1886 versus 1913, 12, somewhere through there.
The important thing is that you know what 1912 is. I have no idea when Kentucky State was started. Good job.
1886.
All I gotta say is we had Oprah.
Trump card.
Is that y'all claim to fame, Oprah?
We also
Atlantic
had,
Star.
we
We got
also
Oprah.
had the
Oh,
first
oh.
Black female Olympic medalist. Her name is
Wilma Rudolph.
Rudolph.
Wilma
And her-
Rudolph.
And her coach, Ed Temple. Shout out to Rosai. Go ahead.
Shout out. We have many legends.
Oprah don't even like black men.
I don't know. She been dating Stedman
Stedman
for
is
about
black.
30 years.
Yeah, he's
Why they
black.
ain't married?
Whitney Houston or Beyonce?
Bodyguard.
I'm gonna drink. We got to drink with her. We got to drink with
Drink with her.
her.
Bodyguard Whitney. We talking
That one
Bodyguard.
too. That one too. 2 sips. Yeah, that's hard. That's hard.
Okay.
That's
I would
hard because
say
they are both
I
divas
mean,
in their
no.
own right. Divas in their own right, y'all. Both of them.
I say Whitney
So-
for the vocals, Beyonce for the entertainment.
Yes.
Whitney can dance.
No, she couldn't dance. She's a legend, though. She's a legend, and Beyonce is a legend.
For sure.
Nah, see, I would have rather Whitney went down.
I think
Before-
Greg is enjoying this segment too much.
I would have rather Whitney went, slid off into the abyss before she went
Whitney,
down like she
Whitney.
did.
He said Whitney.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, that's it.
Well,
I agree.
I thought he about to say it's hot in here.
according to Trick Daddy, though,
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Beyonce
not going
can't
to-
touch her Whitney.
He did say that.
Please don't say
Yeah,
nothing.
okay.
All right, here go the next one right here. I don't know you into reality TV already, but Real Housewives of Atlanta or Love and Hip Hop?
Oh, I gotta go Real Housewives. Love and hip hop is just gotten ghetto. I have to say Real Housewives.
Hey man, shout out to Greg Leeds, man.
That's exactly what I was about to say.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Greg Leeds, man.
Yeah,
He gone.
absolutely.
He gone.
So sad. Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
Who's Greg Leaks?
Don't worry about it.
Nene's husband.
Nene Leak's husband from Atlanta Housewives.
Oh, yeah. Is
I
that
thought
the dude
they
who had
broke
the
up.
gray
I thought they
beard?
broke up.
Yes.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, they-
no, you're
They got
thinking
back
of the
together.
model.
Just let it go. Just let it go.
Right.
And she got
Can't
famous.
explain it now.
Okay. Power or The Wire?
Ooh, that's hard. Okay.
Sip. We sipping anyway. Let's go.
They say this is a big rich night. I love that.
Hey,
The Wire.
I just
But-
come across the Poet's Pond. Not like you, young kind from.
But The
All right.
Wire had the best, I don't know, the best sayings, the best takes. I don't know, like the best lines. The Wire had the best lines, like that shit or whatever the was the guy said.
Yeah.
What was his name? What's that actor's name?
I don't even know his
Is that
name.
Idris Elba?
Councilman.
The councilman, but what was the actor's name?
Yeah,
don't know his name.
Yeah, his real
Wendell
name.
Pierce, right?
Nah, he was
No, that's
Wendell
Bumps.
Pierce was Bronx, the detective.
Oh,
But you know what? Both of those you can watch right now, and they're still so good.
I just rewatched The Wire.
I did too. We did like maybe early during the pandemic. GT
Yep.
and I watched it, and it was so
Okay.
good still.
Cool. Terrible.
What is worse? A bad weave or a bad wig?
Ooh.
Bad wig.
Oh. You got sip
Oh,
to that.
so
you can
wig,
throw it.
a wig shifted to the side is better than being able to see tracks.
You can see a bad wig like from a mile away, though.
That's true.
Because it also
Shifted to the side.
because it shifts.
If that part isn't parting down the middle, that part down the side.
Or if it's diagonal.
On the ear hole. At homecoming. Just stayed home, girl. Don't come to homecoming. You should stay home.
We finna bring it back to like first alcohol, since you're a beverage importer / beverage broker.
Mhm.
Mad Dog 2020 or Wild Irish Rose?
Wild Irish Rose, baby. All day.
That Alabama. Oh, hold on. I got a follow up then. Because both of y'all from Alabama. Wild Irish Rose or Red Dagger?
What is that?
Y'all don't even know about that.
I
That
don't know
old
what Red
shop-
Dagger is.
Ooh, that's some old cheap wine I got from my brothers at A&M. Never mind.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of
They
it.
don't even make it no more.
Red Dagger. I'm gonna have to look that one up.
All right. And then the last one I have, since you said you went to TSU back in the day, Mighty Chicken or Knockout Wings?
Knockout wings. What?
I disagree.
Knockout, baby.
Mighty
Knockout
Chicken
wings
better.
all day. Plus
Knockout
the
wings.
roll, the bread, the rolls, the biscuits, what?
Mm.
And the sweet tea. Come on now, the fruit tea. Come on. Absolutely. Knockout.
It was better as Mighty Chicken.
It was better as Mighty Chicken.
Mighty Chicken was good, but they didn't have those biscuits.
I think they had the biscuits.
Did they?
Yeah, they had the biscuits.
I don't remember the biscuits until it became Knockout.
They always had them when it was the little shack over there next to Fisk.
Yep.
Across
And
the
dude
street.
used to walk around with the pistol on his hip.
Yep. All right, that concludes that. By the way, can you let the people know where they can get
Your brand or
the
this
brand?
Yes, Leyenda, absolutely. So right now we're in Tennessee, launching in Kentucky, and we'll be in Texas by the end of the month.
That's
but in-
awesome.
Yes, but in Nashville right now, and Knoxville, we're in the iconic R&R Liquors, which we have a tasting there tomorrow night. Be
Mhm.
there if you can. R&R, Priest Point, Red Carpet, MGMC, owned by the guys who own, of course, Preem, the pizza place, Slim and Huskies. We're also, Slim and Huskies. We're also at Smash and Crab. Those are restaurants where you can have it and experience it. Soon to be in Willie B's by next week. Also in Minerva, Midtown Wine and Spirits. That's a Red Carpet, Liquors in Gallatin and expanding. So, but yeah, our main, like our anchor stores, or I call them our flagship stores, are R&R, Priest Point, Red Carpet Liquors, and we're expanding from there. You can find it at, it'll be at Frugal McDougal soon too, Midtown Wine and Spirits. It'll probably also be at Iroquois in, what area is that? Kind of Bellevue area.
Bellevue.
Yeah. But on Instagram, if you follow us at the Leyenda Mezcal USA, the Leyenda, we'll have a list that we're posting on one of the channels that just says where you can find us or locations. And in Kentucky, we should be in 3 locations in about 2 weeks. We just got product. And then Texas by the end of the month. So I'm excited. So I'm gonna, on our website too, we're gonna list all the locations. So check us out on Instagram, check out our website, and we're just really getting out there. So we'll be listing all of our locations on Instagram and the website. And then we'll also you'll be able to get us online. We're launching e-commerce as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
How long are you gonna make us wait for this añejo?
Man.
Oh, I
Man.
Hey,
know,
so I didn't see
right?
the bottle. Did you hold the bottle up?
It looked like the Leyenda bottle, right?
That's it. But it's a sample, so it's not our new label yet.
Are you
So it's
doing
only
that?
like yeah, that's añejo. And then añejo is silky smooth. It has it tastes like chocolate. Like, to me, it tastes like chocolate. It really does.
You are
It has
evading
chocolate and
my
spice.
question. You are evading my question.
When will it be available? I'm hoping for Christmas.
Okay. There we go.
Christmas. And if not Christmas, it'll be first quarter of 2022. So we have to finish the labeling and all that stuff, and just all the costs. But yeah, I think Christmas time it'll be here.
Are you redoing the labeling for the añejo, something to be different, or is it just gonna?
It'll be like that one. It'll be like that one. We're changing a few things. So the next batch you'll see, our labels are going to be a little different. Pretty much, I think it won't be able to be seen from the naked eye, but we're making a few changes so that añejo will have our new label. We're just repositioning some of the language on the back. That's it.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, we reached the end of our show, and usually we like our guests to give us some ending words. We call it the words of wisdom. So
Yeah. Okay.
go ahead.
Man, this has been great. I've had so much fun tonight. Thank you guys. I've had a great time. So my words of wisdom would be, I think, more so for entrepreneurs or people that have a great idea and have been, nursing it and nurturing it for a while and haven't stepped out on faith to do it. I say just do it. I think that all of us have a burning desire within us to do something bigger, greater, better, and I think that life can sometimes disappoint and kind of like suppress, your emotions and your feelings and your will to win, or just in the enthusiasm you have behind your idea. Do it. Don't let anything stop you. We have one life. We have a limited amount of time on this earth. So I think that you should leave here with no regrets. I think you should do whatever. I don't care what anybody says. Like, don't listen to people, because these are your dreams. These are not their dreams, and they don't walk in your shoes, and they don't have the burning fire you have. So anything that you want to do or that you have been trying to do, I think you should go after it full force today, tomorrow. Do not wait, but do it right now. And that is my words. Always have someone in your pocket or someone walking with you with the knowledge and the skill to help you. Don't be afraid to ask for help, and definitely take the help. You know what I mean? Take people that are skilled and that have experience and whatever you're needing, but just go for it. Do it. Like, stop having things hold you back. Don't be afraid, because we, especially African Americans, we have been suppressed for far too long. That time is over. It's over for being suppressed. It's over for, short selling our dreams. It's over for limits, no limits. Like, it's over. It's a wrap. So just do it. Just do it.
Well, we'd like to thank you for coming on the show. We really appreciate you. And
yes,
try to go out, check out her mezcal, Leyenda.
Leyenda.
He's gonna mess it up forever, so don't worry about that.
Y'all check this out, and appreciate you for being on the show. And one more thing, Scott, tell them where they can reach us at, Scott.
Well, if you want to watch the full video, go to YouTube. And when you do go to YouTube, please make sure you like it, hit the subscribe, as well as hit that bell. You can also check us out on Instagram at The Urban Retrospect. Check us out on Facebook at The Urban Retrospect. If you want us to review or highlight your business or service, send us an email at theurbanretrospect@gmail.com. If you want to follow us on Twitter, had to change it up a little bit for you. That's Retrospect 1619. But if you want to see it all, go to theurbanretrospect.com. That's where you can catch it all.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
And y'all, thank y'all for watching us. Y'all catch us next week. We finna head to Cleveland.
Yeah.
Yes,
And like
yes.
we always say,
I'm so glad.
peace. Retrospect.
In retrospect, we'll holler at y'all later.